Back now at 7:42, President Trump has signed multiple new executive orders this week, including one that proclaims the U.S. government will only recognize two genders, male and female. The order also prevents any federal dollars from being used for prison inmates seeking gender-affirming care. This is going to impact passports, visas, and other federal documents, but not state IDs. But what exactly happens when your documents, no longer match those federal papers? Joining me this morning to discuss all of this is 9 News legal expert Whitney Traylor. Whitney, good morning.
Good morning, Jordan.
All right, a lot of questions coming in from viewers about this. How is this going to translate to federal versus state IDs and their use? Will someone be able to get a passport with an exgender on it?
No, I don't think so, not going forward. Now, like this and a number of the other executive orders, we don't know what it's going to look like until things go into effect. And so here, the different agencies, because this executive order applies to a number of the passport office, the prison bureau, federal agencies. So we don't know, and they're given 120 days to say how they're going to change their documents. So in Colorado in 2019, we passed a law that allowed on your birth certificate that you could have male, female, intersex, or X, and on your state ID, you can have male, female, or X. So it's really going to be a question, for example, when you go to renew your passport, because this won't apply retroactively, so whatever your passport says now is going to be valid. But when you go to renew, if your driver's license doesn't match the passport or what you're trying to do, then it may be a problem. But it sounds like if this goes into effect, you'll only have the choice to do male or female.
Just to clarify for everybody at home who may have this question, currently right now, you do have that option on your passport.
Correct. So on your passport now, this was a law that was passed in 2022. You can have male, female, or X. And I did look online this morning, and the passport office still online has the option for X. So this is going to be, I think they have 120 days to submit and say how they're going to change. And so the different agencies are going to have different ways to actually try and implement this.
Well, as you know, passports last a while. You don't have to renew them for years on end.
Right.
If somebody has a current passport that does have that X option, if this is implemented, this change, if they are trying to enter back into the U.S., we've gotten this question from a viewer at home, will they still be allowed to with a passport that has the gender X?
Yes, I think so. I think so for a number of reasons. So there are some regulatory laws that allow for you to have the current valid passport with the X. There was a White House correspondent who said they're not going to try and apply this retroactively. But keep in mind, I read several articles where there's only about 17,000 people in the nation who have the designation as X, but some of them have said they do have issues traveling around the world from time to time. So I don't think this will be an increase, especially since they're not applying it retroactive. Now, our passports are good for 10 years. So assuming, let's say we have a different administration, well, we will have a different administration in 4 years. Let's say it's a Democrat, and they can rescind this executive order. So for many people, this probably won't, unless your passport's needing to be renewed in this next 4 years, you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah, and then, of course, there is the question of, but their state ID is able to say something different. How is that going to translate whenever you're using your ID to apply for federal things?
Well, that's going to be an issue if you have a state ID that's not matching your passport, but generally you just need the one form of ID. So if you just have the one form. Now, in Colorado, you can change your birth certificate once just on your own. Then you have to get a court order. And with your state ID, I think you could change it twice, and then you have to get a court order. But this isn't a contested hearing. You just have to go in. You're by yourself. There's nobody opposing it. So I suspect some people are going to go and try and change their ID just to make it easier. But yeah, if you have two documents that don't match, that's just going to exacerbate problems, I think, as you travel. But again, if somebody doesn't have to change, if their passport is good for these next 4 years, they're probably going to be fine. But I think we're going to see an uptick in people changing either their birth certificate or driver's license in light of this. But like these executive orders, I mean, this one was actually fairly detailed.
It was lengthy.
Yes, correct. But it doesn't give a lot of direction on how it's going to happen. So that's why they're asking for a report back in 30 days on some of this, and then 120 days.
Right, exactly. All right, Whitney Traylor, thank you very much. We appreciate your insight.